The views expressed in this presentation are those of the hosts and guests and do not represent the views of any lodge, Grand Lodge, appended body, or any other person or persons whomsoever.
Brethren, we are at Refreshment.
Welcome to the At Refreshment Masonic Video Podcast. I'm your host, Wesley Reuter, and we've been talking about this for a while, and today is the day. The ladies are going to take over. It's Ladies' Day or a ladies' show, so you guys are going to have to get the hell out of here. See ya. All right. So as you can see, the ladies are here. Ladies, I will have you introduce yourself because I don't want to screw your name up and then get hate later. So,
all right.
Even though I know you all very well, but we'll start over my right.
I'm Courtney Bausman. I am Brock Bausman's wife. Confirmed.
Gosh, why did you say that?
Hello, I'm Molly Bencourt Robin. I am married to the lovely and wonderful Patrick Robin.
Hi, Kimberly Sanchez, married to Gabriel Sanchez. He's a pretty cool guy.
And I am Stephanie Riley. I am engaged to Marty Quillis.
Oh. We're all clapping because we just feel sorry. Well, like I said, today's the day that we have you on, and we want to know what it's like for your lives to be married or with a Mason. And Stephanie, you came up with some very good ideas, and I'm going to use them because it's the Ladies' Day. So, misconceptions about Masons and Masonic events. And what are some of those?
I think all the girls getting into this are a little bit nervous about what their guys are actually going to be doing in their lodges and in their lodge rooms.
Yeah, because it's not like, strippers are in the lodge room dancing for us all the time.
Virgin sacrifices.
I mean, have you seen
that we know of?
I mean, have you seen some of the older guys that come to lodge? I don't think you can pay ladies
Oh,
to
we
go
have. They're fans.
So what are some of the events that you ladies have been to and like?
I like the Scottish Rite. They have a bar before the dinner.
Because they have a bar before the dinner, yeah.
Cheers.
And I mean, I don't know. I think it's fun to basically your husband shows you off because they're all old men and they love younger women, right? So I think
Leave that out right there.
No,
No, you're right. You're right. I mean,
and you get awesome food at the Scottish Rite afterwards.
well,
so.
yeah, the food is usually good at the Scottish Rite.
I enjoyed the shrine stuff. I feel like they kind of try to mix it up a little bit. They have kind of different events like wine tasting and, they'll do like the typical kind of girly stuff like flower shows and things like that. But I think they also are trying to kind of attract a variety of people, whether it's, I don't know, all different types of things at the shrine or outside of it, different events. So it's kind of nice to kind of see different areas of the city or the suburbs. So it's nice to kind of mix things up.
Well, the shrine does include the ladies in just about every part of the ceremony except one, two. So that is definitely different because I know when I went through, all of a sudden you're like, wait, all the ladies are here. Is this right? It is kind of different, but they seem to enjoy that. So, love for you.
I have enjoyed doing a lot of the charity functions with the Blue Lodge. So going out and doing either the bell ringing during the holiday, or when we did this past winter, we did a hot cocoa giveaway. So we partnered up with the Villa Park community that they had a little festival going on for the holidays, and we were giving out free hot chocolate to everybody. So it was just kind of a nice. Community building event. I've enjoyed doing, more of the charitable things that we've done in the past. We also did with the grotto. It was grotto, right? Where we did Feed My Starving Children.
Yeah,
that was great. Just to go ahead and, be able to give our time, because it's not always about giving money. It's about giving your time to give back to community. So that's been really awesome.
And you're still spending time with people that you know and like. You all become friends and almost like family.
Absolutely.
I see some of you guys more than I see my own family.
Right, yeah. It can be like that. Now, when it comes to events, what do you want to see? I mean, because it's guys trying to make these events usually for women. And usually sometimes women are like, I don't know, don't you guys usually do this stuff all the time? And then, well, we don't like doing that. So what do the ladies want to see?
We like crocheting and No.
At the
Making sandwiches for our husband.
wait. Crocheting at the bar.
At the bar. Damn right. Yes.
I feel like we all end up becoming arm candy at one point. Like we're not really
See?
there to do anything, but just be with our guy and, like she said, just let him show you off a little bit.
Well-
But as far as events including women, I mean, we've even tossed around the idea of just doing like a wine and paint night for the girls.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, just something for us to do. I mean, we've done bingo while you guys have had an installation before. I mean, there's little things, but yeah, you can tell it's definitely more men-oriented.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just how it is.
I wouldn't mind together but separate. Like that's not
Yes,
an
I
issue,
agree.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like if but it's nicer when you have a group of women that you know and can connect with, people that you've been introduced to before. So introductions are always super important, and making
Yes,
sure that
it
those
is. Yeah,
happen.
it is. I mean,
Introduce your wives.
well, sometimes we don't think, or usually, I don't know.
Just
it's a
don't
bad
introduce
excuse.
with all of the titles because nobody understands
Oh my gosh.
those.
Yeah,
so
no,
Just don't even go
There's
there.
too many
That's
to
just-
remember.
I can't even
The
begin to
easiest
start
one
that.
is brother. Oh, he's a brother. Oh, okay, you get that. Oh, no
Yeah.
problem there. So,
Past
like when you
master.
say arm candy, is it really hard for when there are those arm candy events to be like, I know he's talking to somebody who just introduced me, but now what the fuck are they talking about?
You just smile
Yes.
politely.
Yeah.
Drink
I-
your
is
drink
that-
and act
is
like
that
you're
more-
listening.
I mean, is that more difficult than
I wouldn't say difficult. It can be awkward sometimes. Like you don't really know what to do while the guys are talking, and you're just gonna stand there with your drink, and it can get boring after a little while.
Well, and that's the thing, we definitely want to get away from, and we're gonna need more input from you ladies.
I understand everybody is obviously very passionate. That's why they're in it in the first place. So there's exciting to talk to people that are equally passionate. But I think it's kind of reminding the having the balance that we're here for a good time and it's mixed company. And I think sometimes you have to
Right.
remind our significant others of that for sure.
All right, I hear you. Okay. So, what do you ladies do when we're at meetings? Now, I know you're not always hanging out at the lodge. I mean, right? You're not always at home crocheting, right?
I do whatever I want. That's
Lovely.
my free time. That's time for me to do me things. So I will either play video games, I will craft, I will go out with a friend, go to the bar, go get dinner with someone. I do whatever I want.
it,
That's
girl.
that's my time to do
Me
what
and
I
my
want.
pup
He's out
suffer.
doing his thing, so
We have
I go
girl
out and do
dates.
my thing.
We do. We have girl dates. We'll go out for
Yeah.
dinner. We'll go get our nails done. It's fun.
I want Bachelor in Paradise to lay on the couch.
But we also try to plan things where we'll meet up with the guys after their meetings. So we'll go to the bar. We'll meet them there afterwards. Go out for dinner sometimes.
Proc.
Right.
What am I missing
Proc?
here?
Did you just say proc?
I said Brock.
It sounded like proc. I'm sorry.
He's in trouble.
Test.
All right, so with as much as we're involved, because it's not just Blue Lodge, it's Blue Lodge, it's Shrine, it's Grotto, it's this, that. Yeah, it's all these fun things. Are you glad about all the free time that you have?
I think that I think Patrick's done a pretty well. He's working hard at trying to find activities that we can do together. So I think I love the free time, but it's nice having that balance that we're still doing things together, and making sure that they're not. I don't know. Again, a little bit more fun, a little bit more something that I would be interested in doing. But I do like the free time. I encourage him to be enjoying something he's passionate about. So I don't know. I definitely can say the good and bad about all of it. I think that it also has given me opportunity to meet a lot of great people. I'm not from here, so it's been nice to meet all the people that I have through the organization.
Good. You can go last on this one. I know you've been waiting for this one, so you can go last on this one. Stephanie.
I think we have learned to make a good balance on what we're doing. We actually have a calendar that we share now, and he'll put things on, when he's got a meeting, when he's got a practice, and then he'll incorporate things that I like to do as well. He'll plan, a movie night, a date night, and it's nice to have that balance because it does get overwhelming sometimes when it's like constantly one event after another after, 2 and 3 installations. Like they get to be time consuming. And that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Yes, they can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it can be irritating, but communication really can make the difference. Just because if I say, hey, you know what, is there any way that, I could have you for this? We have this other event going on, and depending on what the event is, it's a yes or a no, but it's just more or less saying, okay, we just need to make some time together because we're already on very opposite schedules, so that time is very precious when we do have it. So if I feel like we're losing time, then I will step in and say, hey, you know what? I'd like it if we could do something together sometime soon, please. Thanks.
Right.
So we try, it's coming up with boundaries. It's having communication. It's being very open about it, and just making sure that your feelings are heard and not being ignored. So.
Yeah, it comes down to respect, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and we try to, and we can be absent-minded. I mean, that's how it goes.
It's time consuming.
And,
That's how it goes, guys.
and now these last 2 minutes, we'll go to Courtney.
So here's an example. This just happened last week. Wes, you were a part of it, actually.
Oh, gosh, I'm
so
in
Wes
trouble
and
now.
Brock decided to go to the Sky Shrike together. They had
Damn right.
a degree. Thanks, Wes, for picking up Brock. You didn't have to pay the tolls. So they went there, and I'm like, okay, I'll give them their time, whatever. Okay, 10 o'clock comes around or whatever. And I'm like, hey, Brock, where are you? And he's like, oh, yeah, the degree ran long. He's like, I'm out of the degree, I'm sorry, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll see you home soon. He's like, all right, see you soon. I fell asleep on the couch. People, 2 hours later, I wake up, realize Brock's still not there. I'm like, oh my God, did Wes get in a wreck? Like, what is going on? Tried to call Brock numerous times, doesn't answer. I don't have his number. So, find out that, oh yeah, they had an afterglow. Oh, okay.
It is the Scottish Rite after all.
Perfect. So, you are out having fun, and I'm sleeping on the couch, worrying terribly about you, and then
Sleep?
they show up. Nope, didn't sleep after that. They finally show up, and Brock's like, it was a great night.
Yes, it was.
I'm glad it was. So that's my opinion.
Hey, I told him he can blame it on me because I was there
But
with
you know
both
what?
Cook.
It's fine.
smoking
I
cigars,
get it.
so.
Every now and then it's okay. I'm not like that. I'm not the warden, okay? I'm not the warden, but I'm known to be.
Yeah, I know.
Were you the one that came up with that name, Wes?
No.
Oh.
Actually, I had a similar night too where, I was out doing stuff and then I get told, oh, hey, come meet me, just things ran late. So I get there and it's a very drunk Marty with surprise somebody else hanging out and drinking and smoking cigars, and it was fine. But 2 hours later.
Past Friday?
No, not this
okay.
past week. No, this was a couple months ago.
A couple months ago, yeah.
And man, oh man, we're sitting there for hours. I'm like, okay, time to go. I'm tired. And okay, but did you hear about this?
One more picture.
It wasn't like that. It was, one more cigar. And those can drag out.
Yeah. Patrick and I are still working on the signals of when I'm ready to go and trying to do it subtly. He's
It's like,
horrible.
I am
Yeah.
out. I am out.
And then you just have to leave after a while because you're like, I'm done.
And I still won't get them away sometimes. You can be sitting in the car. They don't get the hint.
I don't need a signal.
I don't need a signal.
No, I'm pretty forward about when I'm done and it's time to go. So I don't need a signal.
That
That's
girl
okay.
puts her foot down.
Yeah.
So, well,
Let's
how
put
many
that in your
times-
back pocket and use that for future use, If Kathy ever comes out,
Well, I know.
take
I
those
just-
signals and
I know when to be home. We got things worked out like that, so all right. That's why she's not here. So, how many nights a week is too many?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm okay with 2.
I think I'm okay with
Honestly.
2.
Three's fine.
3.
Oh, I knew it. I knew I was going to get the look.
More like 2, more like one day at lodge, and it's okay if Wes comes over one day a week.
Oh my God.
Those are 2
No.
Masonic days.
I don't know. It's sometimes it's the all day events on the weekend. Sometimes just like that can be, very time consuming. I take 2 or 3 weeknights and instead of 1 or 2 days in a row of all day events.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The all-day events can be a lot because they start really early in the morning. And those are, usually on Saturdays. Nothing's really held on Sundays unless it's an installation. But that can be a lot for us. Like they just, the shrine ceremonial, the schedule just came out and it's like, all right, registration 7:30.
Don't talk bad about the ceremony.
No. That's 7:30 in the morning.
Patrick
But
runs that.
When everything is over,
You just got yourself.
when everything, and you know it, when everything is over with and all said and done, it's like 7:00 at night. Everyone's like, where'd they go?
Yeah.
And
I've
then
also
you
never
just start
seen
drinking then. I mean,
a ceremony go on
it's a
time.
long day.
It doesn't start on time.
I don't know. Patrick's pretty timely.
No, they're pretty good at shrine.
Well, I'm not talking about shrine. I'm talking about anything.
Oh,
Just
okay.
in general. Installations I've seen run,
Oh, that's
half an hour late.
Well,
Yeah.
some people run in their own time.
Afterglow
With
starting
every
at 10.
organization. Oh, yeah. Because sometimes I find out I'm running out of the house like 3-4 times a week sometimes. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I'm like, all right, I said I'd go, so I do it. So I can only imagine how you ladies feel. Or maybe, you like that time. Like, get the hell out of here. Leave me alone. Get off me. So.
It's not bad as long as it's not every single week. If it's every single week where it's 3 or 4 nights a week, then that gets to be a bit much. Because then there's no balance. Like where's the balance between family and what you're doing in the Masonic world? So I feel like that if it's every single week, that's a lot.
Yeah, every single week, 3 days a week can be a lot.
Yeah, Wes.
I feel like she wants
Please
to say more.
Hey, Brock. What about these coins, man? These coins. these plethora of coins. They were
All right, with that, we'll take a break and we'll be back. And we're back. If you haven't figured it out, it is the Lady Show. And when we left off, obviously we're talking about ladies in Freemasonry. But the thing is do you ladies know the difference between all the bodies that we go to?
No.
Oh,
A little bit.
Oh, well,
Okay,
come on.
a little bit.
Shoot in the dark. Come on.
Well, I mean, there's Blue Lodge. Okay, and then there's the York Rite
Okay.
and the Scottish Rite.
Yep.
And then I'm not sure after that.
Grotto.
And then there's,
Grotto.
and then there's a chapter. I don't know. I was trying. They're giving us prompts. I don't know.
Oh, the
I'm
other
not
one is
sure.
Shrine.
the Grotto Shrine.
Right on the
yeah.
shrine, yeah.
And that's all I know.
Do you know the difference?
Well, at the
Between
Blue
all-
Lodge, we sell hot dogs at events. I know that for a fact.
Every Blue Lodge does this.
Oh.
No, they do.
I don't know. I thought our lodge,
Yeah, our lodge, yes, Raven.
our
yes.
home lodge,
We
Raven
will do
303.
we will do a hot dog event.
Yeah, I know I know that we do that because we try to help whenever there's like an event in downtown Oswego. We open. I say like it's mine. You guys open up your lodge and sell hot dogs and chips and pop, right?
Yep, we do all that fun stuff every now and then. Next time we'll be doing it is for the Christmas
The
walk.
hot cocoa.
Well,
hot
it's not,
cocoa will
it's not
be
just
there.
called Hot Cocoa Day. It's the
Yeah.
Christmas walk in downtown
Yeah.
Oswego. And yes, we will be selling
I'll be selling hot dogs.
hot dogs, hot cocoa, and hot coffee as well. So,
It's nice.
That's nice.
which of all those is your favorite? Or are they just all blend in together for you ladies?
Okay, what else do you guys do then? What other parts of the appendant bodies.
Well, because you like. No, go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just trying, like, because I guess I don't know, the Scottish Rite or the York, that's the York Rite, right?
My husband's in the Scotch Rite. York Rite, I have no idea about.
So,
I think they're two branches of the same thing, though, right? Like, I think there's 3 different bodies with that.
Are they, Wes? Are they different?
There's 2, okay.
You don't know?
Like chapter, is a chapter part of the York Rite? But I don't know anything.
We have no idea.
And then there's Commander. I don't know. There's other things. I don't
As
know.
far as favorites, well, it's always support the Blue Lodge, and I know that's a big thing.
Support the Blue Lodge.
That's like
As far as the bodies go, Grotto has been the most fun because it's the most involved.
I heard that.
It has been the most involved with getting like ladies together as well. So it's very much like let's go out and we can have a good time together. So I feel like that's definitely been more of good time
My
for
husband
us.
just joined, so I'm excited to join you ladies.
They do definitely blend, though. I mean, there's so many people that are intermingling between all of them. It's hard to keep track.
Because they're all in all of
It's hard to, and there's so many to remember. And I mean, I guess we just all remember like the ones we hang out with the most often. So I know for us, Grotto has been a big thing. And we just went to the Supremes, which was actually a lot of fun. I mean, I got engaged there. So that was a highlight.
You guys want to go see the Supremes, really?
Go to the Supremes, you'll get engaged.
Well, when you're special, you know. No, but that was a lot of fun. And
It was
they did
a lot
have
of
a lot
fun.
of ladies' activities.
Yeah, and we felt very welcomed. Like it was a really good group of people. Everybody was very accepting and just really welcomed us in since we were a newly formed grotto.
And where was that at?
Branson.
Missouri?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So much
I
fun.
am down next year for sure. We're
They
down.
all called us the Chicago girls. We were so
Branson,
we were
Ontario.
laughing so hard. Like, hey, there goes those
Windy
Chicago
City
girls.
ladies.
Well, this next year is actually going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. So
So like
and
horse racing?
We're all going to have to go to
Sluggers.
Courtney, so.
Yeah. So
Well, that's,
so
the,
much
that's the thing is like the different bodies have different, in different places. So really, it's like you want to join where they have like the coolest locations, I guess, of the activities. I don't know, but I it's nice to hear that you can travel and be a part of things and see other places as well. That's nice.
and meet a lot of new people.
Oh, we've
Great.
met so many people from so many different states.
Yeah.
And now we have friends like down in New Orleans. And even just, Indiana.
Well, I can
Absolutely.
say even before this, like Brock was even asked, or however this podcast happened, like I didn't know any of you guys. Well,
Yeah.
yes, I knew you, but like I didn't know any of you guys, and I loved meeting you guys and forming friendships. So
That's the fun thing too. I mean, even when the guys are doing their thing, like we'll hang out behind the scenes, and
Secretly,
we'll
like, text,
secret text each other.
Yeah.
Try to be as quiet as we can.
Dave,
And then, I mean, as far as I guess, first we met through Lodge and then Grotto, but you guys were friends with Marty beforehand. But we got super close just because of all the things that we
Absolutely.
do together.
Yeah.
And we have our girl dates.
So has been a good influence in your life?
I would
mean,
say. I would
say
without
so,
going
yeah.
through all the crap that we went through. Not crap, I'm sorry.
say what you really
Well, I mean, from a woman's perspective, what the hell are you guys going through all this crap? You're going to blindfold you. What are they going to do? So it seems a little bit like that sometimes. But you haven't gone through it. How has this benefited you?
I would say, well, for me, it's like Brock is carrying on. Like, he's the only one in our family now that is carrying on being a Freemason. My uncle, he does not do it. He's not even my okay, no, he's nothing to me anymore. But, like, Brock is the only one that has carried it on. Since Grandpa Al, which, shout out Grandpa Al, right here. Right here. He's been the last one in our family to do it. And Brock's, he passed away when I was probably a junior in high school. And so since he's passed, no one has done it since Brock. So Brock's carrying the legend on in our family.
When were you a junior in high school?
Huh?
When were you a junior?
I graduated 08. So 07.
So it wasn't last year.
Fuck you.
I love you, Courtney.
I'm just gonna drink my beer last and bite my tongue.
He's calling you young and beautiful. Just go with it.
Can I see your ID?
Can I?
I'm old enough to drink this beer last.
You know, I just love you, Courtney. I love giving you a hard time. You give it back to me too, but I'm sure we'll get it before the end of this. But
Yep.
yeah, probably not though. All right, Molly, go ahead.
I don't even. Well, I have no knowledge of Masonry before being with Patrick. So I feel like the benefits have been, it's interesting historical knowledge about the bits and pieces that I do know, and I think it's great. Like I said, I always want to be with a person who has passion, and then to me, that's a great thing to witness amongst him and his friends. And again, for me, it's just like trying new things and meeting new people. And like I said, I love to travel, so it's giving me opportunities to go different places. So yeah, I don't know. That's some of the benefits for me.
Good.
I would say it's been really great to see the changes in my husband, just in the way he carries himself, the way he interacts with people, his leadership abilities. Like, I've just seen a lot of personal growth, and that also goes to say with some other friends like Marty. Some of his own personal developments. I've been friends with him for over a decade now, and it's been really great just to see the changes in them and, like you said, their passion for what they are doing and how important it is to them. So that would be one of the benefits. And then the other great benefit, like I said, has been meeting new people, making new friends, getting to travel. Those are all fantastic things that I absolutely enjoy. And then I also love, being able to give back to the community, being able to get involved. Like, those are all great things that I absolutely support and want to continue to do and see it.
All right, well, I had never really heard of Masonry before being with Marty, except for a time or two, like on a Simpsons episode. And I don't think that was a good depiction of it. And then, of course, you hear all about the Illuminati and stuff. Confirmed. But I love the people that I've met through this. There are some really awesome people, some sweet people, some goofy people. And I think my fiance is the goofiest of them all.
You'd be correct in saying that.
Picture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think the personal relationships that I've made through Masonry is my favorite part, meeting everybody. We do have a really good group of girls together, and we
I'd
group
say.
chat. And of course, Courtney is the best.
How do you explain this to others or other ladies? Like, what do you mean your husband's a Freemason? What do you mean he's a Shriner? What does that
Oh,
mean?
this one's tough.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's not that,
'Cause
well,
sometimes,
I don't make it that
sometimes
difficult.
Right.
we
No.
love it so much, but we explain it and then we walk away and we're like, damn, I explained it the wrong way to that guy. I should have said something else.
I always start off with like the Shriners Hospital, to be honest. I feel like that's the most noticed and commercials, and that's why I always say my husband supports Shriners Hospital, and as a part, he's a Mason, and but that's usually kind of the terminology I always start with, because I feel like that's what people see the most. And I know that there's so many different components to Masonry, but I just feel like since of the average Joe, I feel like that's kind of the way that I kind of start the conversation usually.
Typically,
they
yeah.
do things to kind of support the hospital, and then there's other branches, and depending on how interested people are, I might stop there.
Right. So typically when somebody asks me, like, what do you mean he's a Freemason? I say two things. It's a fraternity, and they're a charitable organization. So those are the things that I think stand out the most and are probably the most misunderstood or not recognized, because they hear Freemason and they just go to, Illuminati. They go to
Yeah,
secret
negative
society. They
and
go
yes.
to like
Skull
all
and bones.
these very dark places. So I try to keep it with, language that people can understand. Everybody knows what a fraternity is, and everybody knows what a charitable organization is. So that's typically where I start the conversation. And from there, if they have more questions, then I'll go into a bit more detail with what I do know.
I'm stealing that. Well, because everybody always starts off with, isn't that like a devil worshipping thing? And aren't they behind all the conspiracies? I'm like, no. We have fun. We did feed my starving children. Like, I don't think they're devil worshipping right now. No.
Yeah, with saying that, how many times have you walked through the lodge and seen, bloody knives or any of that crap?
Only once.
All the conspiracy stuff. I mean, seriously.
Still
my
looking
gosh.
for the treasure. I don't know,
Right?
Yeah.
If you find it, let me know, because I definitely use a part of it. I mean,
If we found it, we wouldn't be on a podcast right now.
Right.
We'd be somewhere else.
so we didn't put like a Masonic spell over you or a hoodoo or whatever.
Oh, maybe that explains it.
That actually would make a lot of
Well,
sense.
Marty getting a girlfriend. Yeah, explains that.
Marty getting a fiance. I mean,
I said yes. That was
you
voodoo
did.
magic.
Well, you had started off as a girlfriend, right? So,
I did.
You did.
so the spell worked. Yeah, you are a fiance. Love potion number 99.
What's in the beers? Anyway.
I was about to drink that shot because it looks like a drink and stuff. What are these again?
Vegas
What are-
bombs.
Vegas bombs.
Vegas
okay.
bomb.
Yes.
Oh, we doing that. So, when you hear of the woman's organization, the Eastern Star, and what do you ladies think of that?
I think of a girl in my college. She
Oh,
Where is this going?
she was the first time I've ever heard the Eastern Star, and she
Really?
yeah
she was in college.
She was in college,
Shocked.
and she was in my one of my comm classes, and she was very heavily into the Eastern Star.
But she was your age.
She was my
I'm
age.
shocked by that. I feel like everybody
No
I know
kidding.
is like over the
Yeah.
age of 65.
I mean, granted,
Yes,
this is back
it is
in
an
Quad
older-
Cities,
Yeah.
like
It is.
Davenport, Iowa, but I mean, yeah, so that was the first time I've ever heard about it, and I even told Brock about it. I was like, and Brock's like, oh yeah, that's like a Masonic organization for women, and that was the first time I've ever heard of it. And she was a senior in college.
Wow.
I'm
interesting.
interested in joining
I'd
the
give her a
Eastern
shout out. I
Star,
don't remember
but
your name,
it's-
sorry,
it's- I would probably be the youngest person in the room.
Oh yeah,
you know,
I feel that
it's-
way too. I mean,
So there's
Until
been
I
a
join.
right. Yeah. So once she gets married, then we can join together, and we'll, But I think it's a little bit harder because the Eastern Star, at least with our lodge, they do come in and do, partner with like different events and things like that. But I don't really know them.
there's still
or-
an Eastern Star in Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I
Okay.
don't really know them. I've seen them here and there. They say hi, but it has not been very conversational. So it's really hard to kind of open up a dialogue to kind of start that and say, hey, tell me about the Eastern Star. What is it about? So it's something that I am interested in, and I do want to join. But I would like some younger women to join
Well, no,
alongside
that's good
of
because
me.
I was expecting,
Yeah.
no, I want nothing to do with that. So, green bean casserole every night is not good.
I really don't know anything about it at all, to be honest. I don't really know anybody who's really in it that I'm aware of. But as far as like women's groups, I've heard of
Your
Daughters of
fiance's in
Mokana.
it.
There's
Well, he's not a woman.
No,
no, well, okay, men can join.
men
the
can join the
Star.
Eastern Star. That I do
So-
know. Yeah.
And some men swear by it. They're usually older, like you said, 65 or older, but they swear by it. And then there's some other guys that go with their wives, so they have something Masonically to do
Together.
with their wives.
Yeah.
Instead of just,
I can see that.
That makes sense.
come and be arm candy and let's go have a couple drinks and, So
Come and be my arm candy. This is my event.
What event is that?
The Eastern Star event. Shut up.
So, there's a very important question, and it's probably not our last
In that
one,
tiny little book of yours.
but yes, it's very, very tiny. So, why is Marty such a pain in the ass?
Such a good question.
That's all you, girl.
That's
Well, I
not
think we can all
all her.
contribute to this.
Where do I start?
I think you actually
No,
should start this.
no.
You've done the longest.
You go ahead. I'm not.
I
So,
live
is
with
it easy to blame Marty for a lot of things?
Yes.
Is he usually at fault?
I don't
I'm
have
looking
any,
at Marty.
I wouldn't say
Yes.
fault,
would
but
assume so.
but I will say that it's Marty's fault that I'm sitting in this room.
So, all right, when the guys came to you and was like, "Hey, we're gonna do a lady show," how did you feel about doing this at first? Because you're very comfortable. You guys are doing great. Everything.
At
very
first, I was
fun,
like,
everything.
yeah, let's do it. I got here, I'm like, oh, God.
I had a shot of tequila waiting for me when I got here. Yeah. But I think it's nice to be able to talk about the girl side of things because it's kind of overshadowed by all the different events that the men do.
I do think that there needs to be more of a women's voice because I think that women are so much the backbone of it, and I understand it's a fraternity, so it's never going to be equal. But I do think that there needs to be more representation. I'm not quite sure how to do that or what my suggestions would be, but I do feel like it needs to be a little bit more. I don't know. We need to be out there a little bit more in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not quite sure how yet. So you want to be respectful to what all of your rules and rituals and such. So we can never just overtake things because it probably would be really great if we did. But but I just it's just finding that balance of being respectful, but yet wanting to demonstrate how much we contribute and support and give at the different charities and things like that. So
Women's Appreciation Night.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
They do that every now and then at the Scottish Rite, and I think the Shrine does a yearly
Yeah,
thing, don't they?
there's lots of things. I think there's acknowledgement. I think like they announce things and such. But I don't know. I don't know quite the right way to do it, but I do think that there should be a little bit more ways to give us, because there are so many sacrifices made to support these things in a variety of ways. So I just feel like it could be always acknowledged a little bit more in some capacity. I just don't know.
Grotto doesn't
Yeah,
give
we
that
try to, and sometimes we do a
I
decent
don't
job,
think
and
you
then
guys
sometimes
mean
we
well.
fail.
I don't think you're doing it on purpose. I don't
No,
think it's a
it's-
negative thing in that sense.
Oh.
But they're just so
Because they-
passionate and focused on what they're doing that they don't think about, us in the background.
Brock thinks about it.
Oh, yeah?
I make it known.
Also, he doesn't have a choice.
He
Yep.
doesn't have a choice. Yes. I know. I hear it sometimes too.
Oh, Wes knows about it as well. And at it.
Yeah, not usually there. I'm there sometimes for it and stuff. Like, okay, yeah, sounds good, Courtney.
I like how the grotto involved the women in the installation that they just did recently for Shael. And I'd never been to an installation for the grotto before, so I didn't know you guys got to go up and we got to put the fez on our man.
Oh yeah,
It was very nice,
Yep.
actually.
Yeah, at the shrine during a fezzing, the lady can do the fezzing, or as you may know, the worshipful master, when he gets the hat put on him,
Yeah, you just
wife or
did that.
significant other can come and put the
Well,
hat
it's the same
on him.
thing with the chapter installations. Women put those things on, and I think there's a little bit. I will say, I guess I can say this, and if we're talking about women's topics, that there is an awards for women in the chapter, and I think there's another. What's the other one that has the award too? I can't remember now. And the Grand Council, the Grand Chapter and Grand Council have an award for women, so that was really
That's nice.
That's
so
awesome.
nice. Yes. And I won it. Kind of weird to say, but
No, to your heart. Go ahead, do it.
That's all right. Yeah, that works out
I
great.
mean, I just think there could be more of awards and recognition.
Pat yourself on the back, girl.
Thank you. So yeah.
Cool. Well, it brings us to that time at the shout out and shouts out.
You gotta take a break.
You have anybody in particular,
We
you
need-
ladies, would like to give a shout out to?
My girl does.
Oh, we're doing shots right now? Yeah. We're doing the shout out? All right, cool. So then I would like to shout out to our wonderful significants
Love you.
and every woman who has a significant who is a Freemason and feels any type of way that we do.
We feel you.
So we feel you. Cheers.
Cheers to you
We're
guys.
there for you.
Are we taking this whole
Look
thing?
at him.
Yes,
Yeah,
down
take
it,
it.
girl.
We'll take it at the same time. Shouts out. All right.
Right.
Are we
All right.
cheering?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my God, you're taking it.
Yes, you're taking it right. Don't worry about it.
All right, here we go.
Take a shot.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that was a 3 golper.
That was a what? 3 golder?
3 golper.
3 golder.
Got it, guys.
And now Brock's excited.
All right. Well, with that, thank you for watching the Ladies Show. Ladies take over on this podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with you soon.
Bye.
Thanks again, ladies.